Another cool thing we can do in Photoshop is isolate pictures, which means getting rid of the background. And the reason that's cool is because it makes us able to make something like this collage. All of these pictures had backgrounds on them, which I got rid of, and then I was able to overlay the pictures on top of each other. So what we're going to do in Photoshop to isolate the picture is use a mask. So the way that masks work, and I just want to call your attention to the rectangle with the circle inside. What a mask does is it will, whatever is in white, kind of like this right here, whatever is in white will be visible and whatever is black is invisible. So let's be on layer 0 and I'm just going to create this mask. The whole page is white, so everything is visible. Now if I were to use the paintbrush and just start painting in black, and let's make this paintbrush a little bit bigger so we can have a bigger effect. If I start painting in black, well, this is visible right now, so what we're seeing here is that what we're seeing is the checkerboard behind, which just means that there's nothing behind. The checkerboard is transparent in Photoshop. And you can see that reflected on this thumbnail that there's black here and there's nothing visible here. So I'm going to hit undo just a bunch of times. Now if we wanted to, let's turn all of these things off. And we can turn that off so we can just see the original picture. Let's say I just wanted the couch and I don't want the background. What I can try doing is using my selection of the couch. So that's Command and then hold down the thumbnail. Now if you needed a refresher, the way that we can make this couch, we can do it a few ways. We can either trace it with the polygon lasso tool. That might be a little tedious. It really depends on what your picture is of, what the best way to do it is. I found that the object selection tool worked pretty well for this particular couch. And then you would, touch up the selection. For now, I'm just going to use this selection that I'd already made. And notice that I can do this even if the object is hidden. So even if the eyeball is turned off, you can still use this to make your selection. And now if I have this selection at the same time that I hold down this, the mask tool, that becomes what is in the mask. And I've just gotten rid of the background. If you want, you can put this directly into InDesign and make the collage there, or you can start layering pictures into Photoshop and collage it in Photoshop. You would just want to make sure that you have the right scale and that you're working on a 4x6 document in Photoshop. But that is how you would use masks to isolate pictures. Now if you wanted to get, let's say I want to get this chair back into the picture because I think this looks a little strange, what I can do is swap this. Another shortcut for swapping the foreground and background color is just hitting the letter X. So let's get that chair back. As far as I can see, this is probably a good selection for it. And we can just adjust it afterwards. Now I'm just going to hit the paint bucket to get I'm going to hit G to get the paint bucket. And make sure that when you're trying to edit the mask, that your mask is selected and not the thumbnail of the layer. Great, and now we have our chair and little end table back in. I think that looks pretty cool. So that's how you would use masks to isolate pictures.